Today we're going to do a little bit of history about the Moritz Gottschalk Company, who manufactured doll houses since 1865. Moritz Gottschalk was born in Germany in the year 1840, a smart young man who at the age of 25 in the year 1865 started his own bookbinding company in the small town of Marienburg in the Ore Mountains in Germany. This area population today is only 17,500 residents. So back then it must have been very sparsely populated. But the entire Ore Mountain region was famous for its toy manufacturers. Today, the Ore Mountain region is really famous for their Christmas villages, decorated each season to attract many, many tourists who come to enjoy all of the Christmas that they just go crazy over it there. So it's just a beautiful time of year to visit that region. In the year 1873, Gottschalk started manufacturing dollhouse furniture, and lots of other toys. In just 2 short years, the railway came to Marienburg and the small factory grew. With the train came the ability to export to other countries. Gottschalk exported to England, France, the Netherlands, Scandinavia, and America. The majority of Gottschalk dollhouses were sold worldwide. Showrooms of Gottschalk products were everywhere, all around the world, and he even opened an agency in the United States. His dollhouses soon became world famous. The architectural styles of the time were reflected in these definitely minuscule little homes. Often his houses were covered in lithograph papers depicting bricks and siding and other details, and often side windows were done on lithography paper. Until the year 1919, all the roofs of every Gottschalk house were painted blue. After 1920, all the roofs were painted red. Gottschalk designs were limitless. He created everything from mansions to tiny little cottage homes, and all with meticulous detail. Some houses were built after 1920 even had real working elevators with little pulley systems. Intricately decorated hinged gardens were also available on some models. He even created movable awnings, round room boxes, caravans, and kitchen boxes. He created almost every kind of room box that you could imagine, from schoolrooms to baths and stables. And later, they created little garages, and they did castles and stores and shops of all kinds. Both Christian Hacker and Albin Schoenherr were world-famous dollhouse manufacturers of the same time period. Schoenherr started his career as a dollhouse manufacturer, working for Gottschalk as an employee. Schoenherr's designs were quite often barely distinguishable from his previous employer's products, Gottschalk. Lots of dollhouse manufacturers of the time period copied the envied Gottschalk dollhouse products. Sadly, though, in 1905, Moritz Gottschalk passed away, but the company remained family owned, first by his son, who died in World War II, and then by his widow. In 1931, a former employee, Kurt Alfred Wagner, bought the firm. Kurt retired in 1934, leaving his son to continue on. His son not only produced the Gottschalk products, but he also produced Wagner dollhouses and married to the granddaughter of Moritz Gottschalk, Lottie I can't say her name, but I'm going to try Honstein. During both World Wars, Production of the Gottschalk toys and dollhouses completely stopped. After 1923, there were only newly designed Gottschalk houses. Sadly, after World War II, the Gottschalk toy manufacturing plant was located in the eastern zone of occupied Germany, and after the Soviets disassembled large parts of existing factories and companies, they had to ship their goods to the Soviet Union as a part of reparations. From 1947 on, the Moritz Gottschalk Company built dollhouses again. The end of their history as a company came to a conclusion in 1972 when all remaining private enterprises of the German Democratic Republic were disposed of and nationalized. All toy companies were incorporated into the nationally owned enterprise Vero. Until 1990, they continued to build toy parts in Marienburg. Then the fall of the Iron Curtain stopped the production. The old remaining buildings of the Gottschalk factory were demolished in 1999 to make way for a sports hall. To see a lovely Gottschalk dollhouse, look on YouTube for Best Moments in Antiques Roadshow US, where they feature this lovely Gottschalk house. What a lucky guy he is to have that house, let me tell you. Well, thank you very much for watching my video today. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing because it really helps my channel. Hit that like button and tell your friends about my channel. Have the best day ever. Thanks again, guys.